I believe we are live. We are live here on YouTube. I thought we'd be on also on Twitter, but it's doing something here on Twitter. Anyway, guys, this is the Big Pop 30 podcast, and we have SummerSlam predictions. SummerSlam is this Saturday. I look forward to it. I have a lovely panel here to talk about these 7 matches here on SummerSlam. I just want to make sure I got this actually correct here. I wanted to make sure I had notes to show like I'm wrestling, not journalist, but something with wrestling. But this is the 37th annual SummerSlam. I'm joined here with the spectacular Shay Sawyer. I'm joined with the smartest man in the room, Rich Kings, and the Usiest Haitian Jean Baptiste. That's his nickname. Every time I say it, Shay be like, oh my God, but that's his nickname. SummerSlam is this Saturday, guys. We have 7 matches. George Lewis, what is going on? The Sweaterverse himself, the master of the sweaters. I don't have any follow-up for that, but I do ask you guys, hey, that's my wrestling partner for Tuesdays, NXT on UPR. She's a part of the Jane train. I just want everyone to know there's only one seat because I made the train. So that means there's only one seat. And if you're waiting to get on that, I am the conductor. That means you will be waiting. There will be a delay because I am driving. But anyway, guys, look, SummerSlam is this Saturday. I'm going to give the floor to you first, Shay Sawyer. How are we feeling about SummerSlam? And what match are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to Liv versus Rhea. I think that this has been my favorite storyline. Even when Rhea was not there, Liv was doing a great job of carrying it. And I'm just super invested. And I hope it ends the way I want it to end.
The way you wanted to end. And I know we're going to talk about predictions once we get into this. So I look forward to hearing what you have to say there. Jean Baptiste, what match are you looking forward to the most? And also too in the chat, please let us know what match you're looking forward to. But please, Baptiste, take the floor.
Surprisingly enough, because we all said this a couple of episodes back, that on paper this match is going to be garbage and trash and nothing, but surprisingly, I think Gunther versus Damian Priest is going to be my match of the night. That storyline has built up into something explosive. Damian has definitely improved on the mic. And he doesn't look like some chump that's going to get bulldozed by Gunther. So I'm definitely looking forward to this matchup. Like these past couple of weeks, Damian and Gunther have kind of took us back to the old Attitude Era days where it's like, you know what? Time for talk is over. I come out, I'm whooping your ass. So definitely looking forward to that. That's my match of the night.
Ooh, okay. And I know we've been chatting a little bit. We spoke a little bit earlier in the day, and you was telling me that, so I'm not surprised by that. Because real quick, I feel like I just want to do a quick spoiler here. What did you say earlier to me? What do you do with Damian Priest?
I stand with Damian Priest.
Fantastic. And I walk with Elias. Rich Kings, what match are you looking for? I had to get that joke out immediately. But Rich Kings, what match are you looking forward to this Saturday SummerSlam?
You know, really similar to Shay Sawyer. I'm looking forward to the Rhea Ripley match with Liv Morgan. Honestly, like the matches in the past they had, that wasn't too bad at all. Honestly, and I felt like obviously Rhea had an edge because she's this powerhouse, but this storyline angle, them having this little bit of history. I like the direction they're going, so I'm actually looking forward to this match. And my second one will be the other women's match with Nia Jax and Bayley. I'm a Bayley fan. I'm also a Nia Jax fan. I prefer, I'll give my prediction again, but those 2 matches for me, I'm looking forward to the most.
All right. Match-wise for me, I mean, I think there's a lot of great matches actually on here. I mean, I think you all nailed something very well because the Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley match, there's a lot of steam in there, so I do look forward to that. And also too with Jean Baptiste, because you was talking about Gunther, and I feel like that's just going to be a really, really good wrestling match because you got 2 wrestlers who's going to be capable of putting on a really good match. So for me, match that I'm really looking forward to, I'm going to go with Punk against Drew. I just think there's a lot of heat there, and I think these two and there's a lot of steam there, right? I know we're gonna get there and we're gonna talk about it, but I think that's the match I am looking forward to the most here. 7 matches here. Triple H was feeling pretty spicy here because usually he keeps it 5 matches, but he said, you know what? It's SummerSlam. I'm going to give you 7 matches, and this is going to be the last SummerSlam where it's one night. I believe next year they're going to go to 2 nights, if I'm correct. So, and I look forward to SummerSlam. One of the things I just want to say real quick here: SummerSlam is my second favorite PLE. Right, I said it right, PLE, because pay-per-view, but PLE. There's always been some really fun matches at SummerSlam. And you can tell that it's a big deal now because it's going to be 2 nights next year. So why don't we start off here? Why don't we start off with this match here? Obviously, we have no idea how the card is going to start and everything like that. So just bear with us. But let's talk about this match here. We have Logan Paul going against LA Knight. Yeah. Good job, Gene Batiste. He muted himself too. Like, just how could you not like this guy? But it's for the United States Championship. Okay, I'm going to take the floor here first here. So for me here, right, we see this match. We have I'm sorry. We have Logan Paul defending his championship. He's going to be in his hometown of Cleveland. And at first I thought, like, hey, I see LA Knight winning the championship off of Logan Paul. And I see George, he's saying, LA Knight, yeah, it's his time to win. I'm going to disagree with you, George. I think Logan retains. I think he finds a way to... I'm sorry. I feel like Logan's going to find a way to cheat and retain. I don't think LA Knight wins it right away. I think this is a match that they're going to run back. I would be for LA Knight winning because I was reminded Logan Paul has probably defended this championship twice this year. And a lot of people used to give Roman Reigns all kinds of hell 2 or 3 times. Let's say 2, 3, 4 times. People used to give Roman Reigns all kinds of hell on how he defended the championship. But I definitely feel like Roman did way more than Logan did. But I'm going to go with Logan. That is my pick. Yes, George Lewis with the sweater. I am going. George, it's been a while. What's the point? What's the score point here with all of us? But I'm going to go with Logan Paul. I'm going to give the floor to you, Rich Kings. What do you got here? We're going to give it to Gene Batiste and then you, the spectacular Shay Sawyer.
Yeah, so I'm in agreement with you. I do feel that this match will go down to Logan Paul actually winning this match. I do think that I hear like the lack of defense and things of that nature, but for some reason when he shows up, there seems to be a buzz and there seems to be a rating. He does put on the great matches when he is wrestling, actually, that is, right? So I think there is a certain appeal to that. And for him to lose to LA Knight, I just don't see it. I don't know what LA Knight is actually doing when it comes to winning a belt. Has he even won a belt since he's been on the main card?
On the main roster, no.
No. And I don't think he's going to win one on Sunday either. So my prediction is Logan Paul is going to win and passing on to the next person.
What do you got, Gene Batiste?
Oh, I'm sorry. I heard that noise too. And I'm like, did that come from my background or where the hell did that come from? But then again, I just realized I had earpieces in my ears. I don't know.
I thought you were playing Dead by Daylight.
I wish. I don't have my PlayStation wheel, unfortunately. You know what? I know Logan Paul is from Cleveland. I'm trying to figure out because Miz is also from Cleveland. I think don't they got a tag team title shot that night too in SummerSlam?
No.
That's not happening?
Miz is gonna host.
Oh, Miz is hosting. Oh, damn! They might they might give it to fucking Logan Paul. I don't want Logan Paul to win. No, I'm standing by LA Knight. Yeah. Nah, fuck that. LA Knight. Yeah. He's winning that. Bump that. 2 titles. Wait, did Logan Paul really only defend twice this year?
I'm exaggerating with 2, but it's very minimum. I'm like, you can count on your hands how many times he defended the championship.
I feel like every pay-per-view event since he got that belt, he defended it. I want to say almost every.
You know why that's not true? Because he won against Cody Rhodes. at Saudi Arabia, and that title wasn't on the line.
The title. Oh yeah. L.A. Knight. Yeah, scrap that. He wins that. Nope. I do not stand by Logan Paul. Bump that.
Wrestling Dog says they had people lose in their hometown, so Logan can lose. He defended his title. So it is. Is it really twice? I know I'm exaggerating, but I'm just saying it's definitely you can count on your hands here. But please, Shay Sawyer, what do you got here? What's your prediction here, madam?
I obviously want LA Knight to win. I don't want Logan to be the champion anymore. I'm sick of it. I'm so tired of him and his stupid prime bottles. I'm sick of him bringing his friend of the week to come down to the ramp with him. I want it over. So I definitely want LA Knight to win, and my fire alarm agrees. So yeah.
I love that your fire alarm has become a star with you. Like you have formed a tag team with your fire alarm. That is fantastic. I love that for you. Good job. When you I know you're gonna do some stuff with UPR eventually, but like I've been telling the executive consultant to get off his unflattering ass, and now he needs to make a shirt, and it's just like you and the fire alarm, like you're tag teaming or something like that. That would be fantastic. Let's get into the next match here. We have for the women's championship, we have Bayley defending her championship against Queen Nia Jax. Can you put that can you put that comment back up? I did want to read it. It's only been twice. He act like he's Brock Lesnar being a part-time champion. Get out of here with that BS. No, Brock Lesnar was probably the greatest part-time champion I've ever seen in my life, because that man probably had the belt in the bed with him as he watched everyone work. I said, I need that schedule. Shay and Jean Baptiste, I'm giving you. Wow. What about me and Rich Kings? Where's our point? George always find a way to just irritates me. George, sometimes he asks for me like, hey, where are you on Tuesday nights and whatnot? And I see what you're trying to do here. I don't like it, George. Where's my points? Tiffany Stratton is going to cash in and make it a triple threat match where she falls and get pinned. And that's interesting because I did want to add to that, but I'm going to give the floor first to Rich Kings. Who do you got here? I do want to add a few things here because I think George added something really interesting there about the cash in. So who do you got winning this match, and do you see Tiffany cashing in her money in the bank? And we're going to give it to Rich Kings, Jean Baptiste, Shay, and then I'll take on after.
Yeah, so I don't see a cash.
No! I'm sorry.
No, you're right. I don't see a cash in. That was right on point. So no cash in, and I do think Nia Jax does win this match, right? I do think that this run she's on, this her coming back and just recreating herself, and it seems I was always a Nia Jax fan, as you know, but just this aura that she has, and it's just comedic, is great television, and she's poised to be a good champion. So I do see her winning. I think it's going to be a great match, honestly, between her and Bayley. I think Bayley's going to, do a good job of solidly putting her over. I'm curious to see what's next after Bayley, after she does lose. I'm proclaiming that she is losing this match. But Nia Jax, for me, should be walking out with a crown on her head and the Women's Championship.
Jean Baptiste?
I see Nia Jax winning and Tiffany successfully cashing in on Nia Jax. Just to throw a swerve in there. I know for a fact Nia Jax has improved so much since her return. Mic work, she's not knocking people out. She's not injuring people. Credit to her for that. Her versus Bayley in a solid matchup. As much as I may love Bayley, Nia Jax is one big ass bulldozer. So yeah, you're not getting far, Bayley. I'm sorry. But I do see Tiffany Stratton, the quote unquote bestie, cashing in on Nia Jax while she's probably winded, we'll call it, and successfully cashing in and becoming the new woman. I think Tiffany Stratton's walking out with that belt. Nia Jax wins, but Tiffany Stratton walks out with that belt. Point blank. It's Tiffy time. Y'all know what time it is now. Come on.
I'm not wearing a watch. Shay, what do you got here, madam?
It's okay. Neither am I.
So I kind of see Nia winning for sure, even though Bayley has beaten her before when it came to a title. I I think that Nia, at this point they have to, because I feel like they didn't even capitalize on her whole Queen Nia stuff. So now I feel like they have to have her win to kind of make up for that, because I feel like Zelina Vega, she took more advantage of the whole Queen Zelina, definitely made it feel more important as opposed to what they have done with Nia, because I feel like she's been overshadowed by Tiffany so much this entire time that it's just like she has to win to make something make sense at this point. And I don't see Tiffany cashing in, and I don't see her winning if she does, because I just feel like, again, it's too soon. They could drag it out a little bit more. And I also, again, think that they need to make up for the fact that they did not capitalize on the Queen Nia stuff at all this entire time. So that is my thought process.
I think you guys all said some like great things here, because I'm all in agreement about Nia winning. I just think Nia should just get something here. I mean, I think Bayley has done a great job with that championship, and I think Nia should be rewarded for, like how you guys mentioned, her growth and how much.
Almost liked you, George. I almost liked you. Almost.
Hold on, I got something for George, because George irritated me. You see that in that Fallon Henley one? It was really JC Jane's team. Remember? Like, he doesn't pay attention. But I just want to finish my thoughts here real quick. Because JC Jane won yesterday. I just want you guys to know if you watched NXT. But I think she definitely wins. Talking about Nia Jax, I definitely can see her winning. The cash-in, I do agree with Shay, where I can see them stretching it out a little bit. I don't think they even have to do it at SummerSlam. I think that's something you can... I don't have a time period for it, but I'm just saying maybe 2-3 months down the line, she cashes it in. She can tease it. So I got Nia winning, but I don't have Tiffany cashing in. And nor do I think she should, honestly. What we got here in the comments? I'm sorry. I just want to get into the... Oh, I saw that match. See, George just know how to... George, you're irritating me. George, you just have increased my blood pressure, which is not a hard thing to do. Let's get into this one right here. We have, for the Intercontinental Championship, we have one Sami Zayn going against Bron Breakker. I have thoughts about this match, but I'm going to give the floor to you first, Shay. We're going to give it to you, then Gene, and then Rich King's here. Who do you got for this Intercontinental Championship match?
Obviously, Bron. Like, at this point, they've pushed themselves into a corner. They've already put him in the match with Sami, who's like Super Cena on crack. Like, this man beats everyone. It's tiresome. I'm sick of it. And now it's like, yeah, he has to win. Like, if he loses again to Sami, it's not a good look. It's not a good look for the way that they're trying to present him. It doesn't make sense. So it's like, at this point, Bron has to win. This is it. And you know what? Good. Because you know what, Sami? You don't mind your damn business. You're always in somebody else's business. You're always in Finn's business specifically. And I don't like it. So you deserve to lose. Bron, break him in half like a cheese cracker.
Before I give the floor to Jean Baptiste, what drug was it that he's on? What did you say? Which one was it?
I said white girl interrupted. No kidding. No.
I love that cleanup. No, that was fantastic. No, I'm sorry, Jean Baptiste. I'm sorry, I had to take over because when he take the floor, please.
Yeah, I am kind of tired of Sami Zayn holding that belt. It's time for him to drop it. He's been called the underdog for God knows how long. Underdog my ass. Show me the underdog. Show me the underdog. Because the Sami Zayn I've seen, every time you put him in a title match, has Haluva kicked his way to a championship match. Retaining. What underdog? What underdog? His shoulders go on the mat the Raw before the fucking pay-per-view event, and then at the pay-per-view, flip the switch. Underdog? No. With the spirit of Roman Reigns, his former tribal chief. He just dominates. Yeah, I'm sorry. Shout out to the tribal chief. He'll dominate his opponent and call it a day. Enter Bron Breakker. Okay. Second generation Steiner. I feel like he shouldn't have lost that Money in the Bank, but he did. Fine. I think he's going to learn from his mistake and break Sami in half. Not once, not twice. Break him in half for as many days as he's held that goddamn championship. because you robbed my man Chad Gate. We're not going to get into that right now. Braun Breaker wins. Braun Breaker wins.
All right, there's a lot of passion here in this match here, but Rich King, smartest guy in the room, sir. What do you have here?
So
I like how you start off with a cough. Good job.
no, like, 2 weeks ago when we asked this question, I would have thought this would have been the match to most likely change titles. And my opinion has changed based off of what I've seen lately and just hearing Shay and Jean-Baptiste ramble about, like, Sami Zayn. So this is what I was saying. He's been a champion too long. 4 months is too long.
100 and something days, exact.
Yeah, so 4 months, that's too long. Meanwhile, do we remember some of these other previous champs we had that was holding the belt hostage? We were just talking about Logan Paul. I know y'all sick of Logan Paul too, but how long has he had that belt? Now, I would say that Sami Zayn, I think this is probably one of his best title runs, because normally he wins a belt, he just loses it almost in 2 months. It's almost like the Sasha Banks of the male. He just has a belt and it's gone, just disappears. So finally, he has some stamina and he's actually winning, right? So I do think that he should beat Braun Breaker, actually. I do think that that people, like all three of you guys, will be shocked. And I think that's what they need to go with. I think that right now with Sami Zayn's streak and the John Cena on crack, or maybe he's Daniel Bryan with the Yes Movement, or maybe he's just trying to create his own little legacy now, right? He has so many different errors, and most of his errors is defined by losing or the bloodline. What is his error? How many times did he have a run and he lost to Kevin Owens? How many times he had a run and then it was just snapped within on a Monday Night Raw, he just disappeared? So listen, he should keep it going. I understand you might be a little sick of this guy, but it's wrestling. I'll get over it.
Rich King, sometimes, let me tell you something, Rich King. No. I got the floor. Please, let me take the floor here. Rich Kings, sometimes you say smart things and then you say this. And I just want to point out real quick, I'm on the same level of intelligence as you, because I want you to know I was able to do my 9 times table and I did it on my first try. So good for me. But I do want to mention here real quick, you said about Sami going over. Let me tell you something. Sami has been getting his ass handed to him the last 3-4 weeks, and well deserved. He doesn't mind his business. He has upbeat Doug music, and you know what? I think it's time that we give it to one Braun Breaker. I think Braun Breaker should dominate him. And listen, and I also want to go with this. I'm going to go with, as you guys can tell, I'm going with Braun Breaker going over. Braun Breaker this past Monday said, "Yo, on Monday, on Money in the Bank, I had that match and I didn't take him seriously because he's a joke, like his stand-up. It's a joke. Now I learned from that." And when someone says, "I learned from that," you screwed. That means that guy analyzed what he did wrong in that match. He's going to dominate him, and it's going to be generational justice.
Help. What has Braun Breaker, what has he done to make you think that we could take his word serious?
Because he's a Steiner.
That's the biggest joke I've heard this far. Carry on.
You know what I think? Honestly, when you try to come at me and you missed, he's going to be, and I can't wait until Braun Breaker beats him on Saturday. I'm going to make sure I have a picture here. Let me see if I have a picture here. Give me a minute. Let me see if I have this picture. No, computer, work with me. I'm not. This computer is not working with me. This mouse is not working with me.
It's not going to be working with you. It's going to be a wrap for Braun Breaker. On to the next one. If Chad Cable could get it done, Braun Breaker should not get it done. Who's next on the list?
Oh, here's my picture when Bron wins. Look at that right there. That's my picture right there. I want you to see this right there. That's going to be the picture. Yeah.
And you're going to have that black guy meme, like when Undertaker lost to Brock Lesnar, when he loses.
I don't want you to text me if Bron loses. I want you to leave me alone.
I'll FaceTime you. Even better, I'll FaceTime you.
No, I'll just ignore it, and I'll just silently ignore you. I'm trying to get to the next match. Yeah, Rich King.
Post it on his Telegram, his Twitter, his Facebook. Post it everywhere, so that when he opens his phone to go on social media, that's the first thing he sees. Post it everywhere.
Jean-Baptiste, who let you in the room?
I snuck in through the back door. Thanks, Cap.
Cap or Johnny Storm?
I'm pretty sure it was Johnny Storm. All right, let's go into the next match here. I feel like I messed up this card here. I'm sorry because my mouse here is I got to get a regular mouse here, guys. But we're gonna go with this match here. I feel like all the other matches that just happened to move up here, but we're gonna go with this one. We have for the women's, I hope I'm saying this right, Women's World Championship. We have Liv Morgan defending her championship against a returning Rhea Ripley. She returned, I want to say it was 2 weeks ago, right, guys? Like she returned 2 weeks ago. Dom got caught in the act. I'm not gonna hold you. I spoke with one Jean-Baptiste. And the promo that they had last week and Liv was in them shorts, I got to give it up to Dom Mysterio. He is fantastic. He is loyal, at least right now, to Rhea Ripley. But I would have folded right in front of Rhea Ripley when I saw Liv Morgan in them shorts. I'm not even going to hold you. I look forward to this match here. I think both Shay and Jean-Baptiste, I feel like y'all both said this was the match I was looking forward to. I'm going to give you guys the floor first here, since you guys were looking forward to this match here. So I have questions here, right? Obviously, the question is, who do you got going over here? And what do you see happening? What do you see happening in this match? Do you see one Dominic Mysterio folding in this match? So I'm going to give the floor to ladies first here. I'm going to give it to Shay Sawyer, and then Jean-Baptiste, please take the floor, sir. And then I'll give it to you, Rich Kings.
Yeah, so it always does it right when I unmute. It's so funny. So yeah. I definitely feel like Liv is winning, and I think that Dom will have something to do with it, Dom or Finn. Definitely. And I think that's how it should go. Like, listen, I'm a little bit sick and tired, and not a little bit, I'm a lot of bit sick and tired of Damian Priest. I already said that. And if Rhea wants to go along with him, her little Terra twin, she can go with him. And anything negative that comes with it. I just feel like Dom is playing like he really missed Rhea. But think about it. They even said he did not text her or call her once the entire time she was gone. You think he just randomly was like, oh, yeah, I'm back, mommy. Everything's fine. He didn't care. Him and Liv literally are pulling the ruse over Rhea's eyes, and just watch. Definitely, he is going to turn on Rhea. She is not winning, and this is continuing. Like, come on. We just got Rhea back. It's only been 2 weeks. It's not going to end this fast, because if Rhea wins, it's over. Like, I just think they should drag this out a bit longer, and I think that it's time for Dom, it's time for JD, it's time for Carlito, even though it's like Carlito just snuck into the group, like literally. I mean, literally. And it's time, especially for Finn, to get away from these ungrateful Terra twins. It is time. They're disrespectful, and I'm over it.
How come when I cheer on JC Jane, I get ragged on, but I can't say whatever? Jean-Baptiste, please take the floor.
I feel like Cap sounds a lot like Dom Mysterio's dad. He wants to sit there and complain that, he doesn't call Rhea and text her for 3. He was busy, okay? He was trying to thwart Liv Morgan from taking that title in the goddamn first place, all right? Now, he didn't fail on his own. He failed because, one, Becky Lynch didn't just take the damn chair and do what the hell she was supposed to do to retain that damn title, okay? Then he tries again to help her in that cage match. And what does Becky Lynch want to do? I'm going to be just like Seth, the babyface, and do it the right way. And you got the goddamn cage door slammed in your face. Not by Dom, but by goddamn Strowman and Mr. Balor and Mr. J.D. McLoser, all right? It's not Dom's fault. We're not going to blame Dominic Mysterio, all right? So you are going to stop sounding like Mr. Rey Mysterio himself, all right? And no, we're done with that. As far as the Terra Twins is concerned, I believe Mr. Balor is probably going to be the one to interfere, because I don't think Dom is going to turn on his mommy, all right? He's not folding like no. That man showed strength. He showed courage when he kicked Liv Morgan to the curb. And I believe Mr. Balor was not too pleased with that, because at the end of the day, it was Liv Morgan who got Mr. Balor and Mr. McLoser back their tag team titles to the Judgment Day. Okay? Carlito, unlike Mr. Truth, did not sneak into the Judgment Day. he earned his keep. Now, technically speaking, R-Truth really did earn his spot because he did beat You know what? JD McLuhan's not even supposed to be a part of the Judgment Day. He lost that 34th Street Miracle Street fight. Bump that. He needs to be He snuck into the goddamn Judgment Day, all right? If anything, he's holding back Mr. Balor because I feel like Mr. Balor should be going further places, and he's not going to do it with Mr. McLoser. So,
wait. I don't mean to interrupt you. I mean, I think you're spitting some facts here. I mean, you're spitting so much that we need to get a mop so someone can clean up all the spitting that you are doing. Good job here, Jean Baptiste. But why do you keep calling this man Mr. Balor? Do you know
Mr. Balor? No, we're gonna show a lot of respect to this man, Mr. Balor. I've learned the error of my ways. Mr. Balor is a decorated athlete, a decorated champion, and I've seen the light. I understand that my constant disrespect of Mr. Balor needs to stop. He has one of the greatest finishing moves of all time, the coup de grace.
You're not getting fired. Shut up.
But final prediction: Liv Morgan wins. Unfortunately, the Terra Twins are gonna get one of them is gonna get screwed. Maybe both. Who knows?
Okay, we're gonna get to that. Rich King. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry to cut you off. I have words for George.
What did he do?
I don't care if they were the original members. I said I wanted them to leave the Judgment Day because, contrary to Damian's thought process, he actually does need the Judgment Day because he hasn't won one of his world title reigns without help. And one of those matches that he won was because of Finn and JD. Facts are the facts. Damian can't win a match without help. That's the truth.
He didn't ask for Mr. He didn't ask for Mr. Balor though. But, okay, you know what? He did. I remember he clearly told Mr. Balor and Mr. McLoser to stay away. He'll do it himself.
And if they did that, then Jey Uso would have beat him. So maybe he should be happy they didn't listen to his terrible advice, which he gives out for free, unasked all the time. And guess what, George? Damian's joining that list in a few days.
If I could be honest here, you talked about real quick. You said about Jey, he would have beaten Damian Priest, right? I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's raining out here in New York. It's very aggressive. But you mentioned about Jey. I kind of wish Jey did beat Damian Priest because then Rikishi wouldn't go on a tirade a few days ago. But what do you have here? Who do you got winning this match?
That was a good one. So
thank you.
I'm gonna start off on addressing Jean Baptiste. I'm gonna start calling you the Tasmanian Devil because you were all over the place that last point. So I had no direction where you were going in. But I'm gonna tell you this: Liv Morgan should be winning this match, and I think that similar to what I was saying before, like the feud, how they have it going. I don't think that it's almost like the Charlotte Flair effect. You just show up and you win the belt back. That's not how this should go. And even though she didn't actually lose the belt, like, she was injured, you still should you should lose. You need to lose this match. And I think this is going to help the storyline and the feud go. I don't think it's ending tonight. I mean, it's going to end on SummerSlam regardless. Regardless of what we want, hope, and dream, it's not going to end. And the only reason why this carries on is because Liv Morgan wins that match. And I think if, Mommy, Rhea, whatever you want to call her, wins the match, I think that takes some luster out of this feud. Even regardless if Damian Priest gets involved, if Balor gets involved, JD, Carlito, one of us. I mean, it's like the LWO these days. Everybody's joining. So I don't think that Rhea wins this match. I think this goes into the next pay-per-view, and we'll see what happens after that.
I think, and I wanted to sit here and say I agree with you guys. I'd see Liv for the storyline purposes that she does retain. So you said the next pay-per-view, the next one would be Clash of Berlin, I believe. It's later in August. I don't see that being so. It's possible that could be a place where they have a rematch, but I also consider Bad Blood. Bad Blood is in October. That's the one in Georgia, out there where you guys are at. And note to self, Shay Damian Priest shall be referred to he who shall not be named. Good job, official Cameron woman. But I definitely see Liv retaining. I see this feud going into October. maybe September. I don't think there's a PLE. Not that I know of, but I know they keep talking about Bad Blood. Bad Blood just seemed like a great place to just cap off a lot of feuds. And I'm going to get into another feud where I can see that where it cap off at. But yeah, I see Liv retaining. One of the things I was telling Jean Baptiste, because we were speaking the last few days, we're talking about the Judgment Day here. I feel like after SummerSlam, we're going to have a whole new version of Judgment Day. And I feel like I've already given my prediction of a certain match here, but I just feel like certain members are going to be kicked out. Certain members are going to just not fall in line. And there's going to be all these different things. Someone pointed this out, and I thought this was really interesting. I saw on social media. It was something. So Monday Night Raw, I missed a good portion of it. Came back from Texas, and I slept because I was jet lagged. But there was a spot where they were talking about when Liv tore up the Judgment Day clubhouse. And something that they pointed out was someone crossed out everyone's head except Finn Balor. I just think that's an interesting detail that I wouldn't have peeped, but Twitter and Instagram, they always point out things that I just think it's interesting that they pointed that out. So maybe that plays a part in this match. I still think it's Dom though, because what Gene was saying, I credit Dom for not folding, but that man folding. That man is folding.
I feel like the more clues point towards Finn, if anything, than Dom. Because if you look at just certain details, remember Finn was spotted giving Liv a ride to work. All those times Damian caught Liv thinking it was supposed to be Dom, but instead it was Finn. Liv helped Finn win back the World Tag Team titles. Everybody's face crossed up except Finn's. Kind of might be just the final clue showing that maybe Finn is going to be the one that screws over the Terror Twins and throws them out of the Judgment Day. The thing is, my question is everybody saying Bad Blood? I feel like this could probably go into Survivor Series, where we might see the Terror Twins and their squad take on the new and improved Judgment Day without them. So, and although, you know what? That kind of would be cool to see a War Games, an intergender War Games.
But I don't see that. I don't see that happening, though. I mean, is it possible?
Thinking.
Huh?
Wishful thinking.
No, and that's fair. I don't see it be going that. Not to say that I can't see the feud going to SummerSlam. I'm sorry, Survivor Series. Sorry, SS. I just don't see that being where a war game where you have men and women against men. I just don't think they do that. I think they want to keep those things separate. That's why they have a men's Royal Rumble, women's Royal Rumble, men's TLC. I'm sorry. Money in the Bank. Like they like to keep that stuff separate. So could it go to God darn it. Survivor Series? Absolutely. George says Liv Morgan and Finn are. Oh, I'm sorry. Get one more time, please. Thank you.
Yeah, the hotel room key. I forgot about that. That was another detail. Finn took the hotel key.
Don't forget when Damian found him coming out of the room with Liv, the Judgment Day. Remember that time?
There was a lot of sketchy business going on between Finn and Liv. So yeah,
Blues Clues. Look at you guys. I'm gonna call y'all Blues Clues. And when y'all
I hated that guy.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Did you just like watch that show or something? Like what the hell was that?
I was a fan of Steve. Steve was my guy. You know, after he left,
Steve.
That was a really good impression.
Go to hell. Okay, first and foremost, Steve was the greatest. All right, go to hell. First class in gasoline shorts.
Did he pay taxes?
Sit next to... No.
Okay,
no.
Thank you. Let's go to the next match here. We have I don't think Seth is in the back. They put Seth so far in the back. I feel like that was pretty much Seth during WrestleMania. They put him in the back. I'm so sorry. We have CM Punk going against Drew McIntyre with Seth Rollins as the special ref here. So I do want to take the floor here real quick, and I'll give you guys the floor here. I do like that they tied back in Seth Rollins with CM Punk. This was a match that was supposed to happen at WrestleMania. Punk got hurt, unfortunately, at Rumble. Seth was doing his own thing at Mania and stuff like that. So I do enjoy that they brought this all back. And I'll give you the floor first, Gene, because I know we talked a little bit, and I remember you was mentioning like you have thoughts, and I'll give you the floor here. So my prediction here, I got in this match would be uncontrollable chaos at its finest. Yeah, I feel like Seth just it's gonna be uncontrollable because did you see Seth's gear on Monday? I said this, and that's not what a ref wears. If I saw a ref like that, I would leave the court because I was like, you don't take this serious, nor should I. I am leaving. I'm going to have Chipotle, and I'm going to spill it on the floor because I want someone to clean up my mess. But all seriousness, I got Drew McIntyre going over here. I think Drew McIntyre should win this match. I think Drew should beat CM Punk. So for the last 3 months, or I'm hoping I'm saying this right, the amount of time here, Drew McIntyre has lost to Damian Priest 3 times: WrestleMania, Clash at the Castle, and Money in the Bank. And it's all because of CM Punk here, right? I can see how do I word this? I'm sorry. I can envision that something happens where Punk might hit Rollins by accident. Something happens where Rollins get hit or something like that. And I don't want to say screw, like he screws, he does a quick 1, 2, 3, or he rings the bell like Montreal, but something happens where Seth Rollins counts to 3 for Drew McIntyre. And I also want to throw out here, and we're talking about the other matches where you can let this go out for a little bit. I talked about a match where the feud could end. I feel like the feud could end at Bad Blood. So I got Drew going over. It does nothing to harm CM Punk. I know this is CM Punk's first match, so he should win. No. Oh, I'm done. I'm gonna give the floor to you, Jean Baptiste, because I know you had some thoughts there. We'll give it to you, Sawyer, and then please, Rich Kane, give your thoughts.
As far as who wins that match, I don't really know. Seth is definitely a wild card. I just want to see what new wardrobe he pulls out of Becky Lynch's closet when he shows up at SummerSlam. I think he's in her closet a little bit too much. You did say something very interesting. Punk's first match back, he should win. I don't know how to feel about that. Like, does he really need that win? Then again, Drew don't need that win. You say Drew lost to Damian Priest 3 times? No, Drew beat himself. He had the belt. He had the world champion at WrestleMania. You decided to fuck around and deal with Punk, who was sitting on commentary. You got screwed. You beat Punk's ass. What did Punk do? Show back up at Clash. Damn, he really did the same thing AJ Styles did. You flew to a whole nother country just to screw this man out of a world title shot. Drew deserves to win. I personally think Seth don't really belong here. I think they just shoehorned him in there. But if he is gonna play ref, I kind of see something akin to when Shawn Michaels ref Bret Hart versus The Undertaker. And I think Undertaker accidentally hit Shawn Michaels. No, Shawn went to go hit Bret Hart with the chair. Bret ducked and he popped Undertaker and ended up being the end of the match. I see a finish similar to that. Whereas the only thing I'm wondering is if the feud between CM Punk and Drew is gonna just fall off and then just pivot itself straight to Punk versus Seth, or you kind of, because it's like a blood feud between Punk and Drew, so I don't even know what direction they're gonna go in. Who wins this match? Probably Drew. Drew kind of needs a win now. Like, you've been getting screwed over by Punk in 3 different countries for the last 3 months. Drew kind of needs this win. Does Seth play a role? When does he not play a role? Let's be real. Drew wins.
I have some thoughts there because it was interesting that you had, but I do want to give the floor to Sawyer. So please, what do you got here, madam?
I was unmuting my mic. Okay. So the way I see this going is I either see it being no one wins or Punk wins. Here's my reason. Not because I think Punk needs to win for these reasons, but I think if Punk was to win, Drew would not let it go. Whereas if Drew was to win, I think that Punk would let it go. And I just don't feel like we're at the end of this feud, to be honest. So I just think Punk winning makes more sense. And then I also kind of feel like it's not even going to be anyone winning. I think that Seth is just so easily, like, Punk just knows how to get under his skin with words. And I just think that that's going to be something that comes up in this match, and it might end in no contest. And I could see, Bad Blood being a triple threat. I really could see it being that, because I think that when they had that segment before Mania, three of them, it got so much buzz and people said they loved it so much. I think it created interest with those three having a program together. So I could see something happening to where it's continued with all three and we get some type of triple threat.
Well said, madam. Well said. Rich Kings. What do you got there? You've been sitting there. You got your hand on your chin. I know you're thinking about something. What are you cooking over there? Is it bacon? Because I could go for some.
No bacon. But Shay's point, I love that. She's on fire. I love that point, that triple threat match.
Well, what about me? Am I water? Like what's going on?
No, you're from Canada, so we don't really respect your opinions right now. But to get back to you,
wow.
Like I will say this. I think CM Punk does win this match, right? So I'm not saying he needs to win this match, but I do think coming back and his first World pay-per-view was the Royal Rumble, then injury, right? It's pretty much out for the whole year. And for all the strife and the promos and all the stuff that he put Drew McIntyre through, I do think that he should win this match. I do think him winning this takes the future a different direction versus Drew winning this. I don't think that Drew's, I would say, mic game or just skill inside just to carry the promo a little bit further if after you win a match is strong enough to keep the interest of not only the fans, but to keep merch and all this other stuff going. So I do think if CM Punk wins, the trash talking is better. Seth Rollins is involved. And personally, I'm not a big fan of Seth Rollins being a special guest referee in this match. I just think that he didn't have a card and it didn't have a place, and they're like, we had to throw him somewhere, put him somewhere, whatever. But I don't think that, I do think he plays a role in this, but begrudgingly, CM Punk wins. Maybe another referee comes running down from the backstage as usual to give CM Punk the 3 count, because Seth Rollins gets knocked out by CM Punk or something like that. But I do see that CM Punk winning. I do see that this spills over into bad blood and potentially something else further. To Sawyer's point, but Drew's losing this match.
I wanted to and thank you for the highlight here, but it said, what if Seth freaking Rollins, you put the whole name in, cost CM Punk and have Drew win? So my thing here, I just wanted to add a little bit here because I didn't get to add this piece here. So I hear what everyone's saying here. I think everyone's made some valid points. From even when you guys were talking about Punk going over. So for me, I look at it like this. Drew wins. I don't know when we get to, because they're going to go back and run that back between Seth and CM Punk. And I feel like that's a good way to kind of slowly go back there. So I don't believe, because I was listening to you, Bad Teaching, you was talking about like, well, I don't know where this feud goes after and stuff like that. Talking about, if I'm correct, you're talking about Punk and Drew, correct? Like with their feud? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, if Drew wins, like if Drew wins and they're trying to pivot into Punk versus Seth, I kind of just don't agree with it because you got Drew and Punk in a blood feud. So for that one win to be a one and done, and then he pivots off to Seth. And then mind you, you also got to take into consideration Punk ain't gonna let it go because Drew still got that stupid little fan made bracelet. I don't think Punk is letting that go anytime soon. So if Drew does win, they're not gonna pivot that off to Seth freaking Rollins because Drew still got that goddamn bracelet. Seth Rollins is still just an afterthought in this feud right now. It's a blood feud.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but see, that's the thing where I think that's a great point. I'm glad that you pointed out because that was something I wasn't even thinking about. But like, that's something where they're going to finish that feud, but they're going to go into like they're slowly. I think WWE right now has been slow with their booking, right? It's been like slow, like they slowly cook, right? I think that's the proper term if we can use that. And I think that they're slowly going to get back to like, hey, we're going to get, because they want to get that match. They want to get that because they wanted to do that this year. Punk and Seth. They even said that was the plan for this year's Mania, but Punk got hurt. So I just think that if Punk loses, he could, it slowly slowly sends him in the direction of him and Rollins. Let's get into another, got two more matches. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Just to challenge your point. So you said that goes into Seth and CM Punk before, right?
Yes.
Drew has been so obsessed with this guy, and even to a certain degree with Seth, right? Mm-hmm. Where does that lose to you, in your opinion? Where does that leave Drew moving forward? Does it go to straight to Gunther? Does he with Jey Uso? What is he gonna do? Because that's where I think the reason why he loses, because they're really, like you said, it's a slow burn, it's a slow cook, right? they have to fade him out. And I don't think him winning is not a fade out. Because I think where does he pick up?
So I want to make sure that my gigantic brain is capturing what you're saying here. So you're asking if he beats Punk, right?
Yeah.
What happens next?
For Drew.
I'm talking about Drew beats Punk, correct?
Yeah. To your point,
Drew beats Punk, if you do that, I mean, this feud doesn't have to end right away. It doesn't have to be. So one of the things, if I can just be a nerd here and talk about 2K, right? They've had all these different things. You can have a month feud, you can have like this 3-month feud, and then I forget what the other one was, but this is one where it goes for a long period of time. This could be a feud that goes for, okay, so August, right? This feud can end in October at Bad Blood. I just feel like Bad Blood just seemed like, and look, I have no source in the game, but I just sit here and think Bad Blood seemed like a great place for it to end. They can end the feud in a Hell in a Cell. Remember back in the day when we were watching Hell in a Cell, that was a great way to end it. Still Cage. I just think that is a great way for it to end.
But until then, where does that leave Seth?
And Becky Lynch's closet. All seriousness, where does it lead him? I think you could slowly just build. I don't know, like, because you're asking me to like book the stuff here, and it's hard for me to book. I don't have all the answers there. All I'm saying is my thoughts here for this feud. You can do this going into that, and maybe at SummerSlam. I mean, I keep saying SummerSlam. I'm sorry, Survivor Series. We can get CM Punk and Seth Rollins, because that's the match that they want to get to. That is the match they want to get to. Now, how do we get there? That is a really great question, and I just do not have the answers.
But that's why when and Bad Guy and I have spoke about this before. This is why I feel like Seth Rollins is shoehorned in here. He doesn't belong in here. Like him being a special guest referee, there's nothing for him. Whether Drew wins or Punk wins, they're not gonna instantly pivot, because that blood feud is not gonna end at SummerSlam. It's not. This is a feud that's been going on for months with no physical interaction between these guys. Well, besides they've gotten physical with beatdowns, but I'm saying that there hasn't been not one match between these guys. This is literally their first match out of this whole feud since it started. Rollins don't need to be here. There's no need for Rollins to be here. Whether Punk wins or Drew wins, that feud is not ending. And then where does that leave Punk? I mean, where does that leave Seth Rollins? Like Seth Rollins really just back to
question. Like, what is
that? Back to me.
He said that that's hilarious. George says at Bad Blood, I can see Seth screwing over CM Punk. I can't. I don't think so. I think if they do a Hell in a Cell, it's a one-on-one. They end it there. I think that would be a great way to cap it off. After that, I don't know. But I think even after when they finish, Seth could be like, okay, I finished one chapter, but I have to get to this other chapter because this guy's been, I mean, they've been, you said Seth don't belong there. I'm not trying to change your mind. That's not what I'm here to do. All I'm simply saying is Seth being in this match is a great way, or if I can use catalyst, I'm hoping I'm using that word right here, is a great catalyst to have to set up for this match. It's going to happen. I feel like before the year's ending, we're going to get Seth CM Punk in the ring. And I'm confident in that. And I'm going to stand not 10, but 11 toes because I am mute. Hello. There we go. Because Jadakiss would never. Let's get to the next match here real quick. I like that you challenged me, Rich Canes. Good job. But I'm sorry, just like the Mets, you are striking out. I am just hitting home runs. I am just winning. George, what is the poor score? What's the point score? Let's get to the next match. We got one. We got Shay's favorite, Damian Priest. I'm going to try to finish this here. No, actually, it's not her favorite because her favorite person to wear leather pants was. Am I right? Is it Kevin Nash? Am I correct there? I want to say I'm right. It is Kevin Nash. Okay, she laughed. We have Damian Priest going against Gunther. Gunther this past Monday. I do want to ask you guys this question real quick. What do you guys think about the match with him and Finn? I do want to take the floor here real quick here. I'll give you the floor to Shay after because I know she have thoughts there. I thought the match was good. I do think that there was another level that they could have done. So I feel like they held back a little bit, if that makes sense, because it was like a Raw match. But if you put them on and they mentioned this on Raw. They were saying like these are NXT legends. You put them on an NXT Takeover show. Give them, I don't even know how much time that they got. They did give them time, but I say 20, 25 minutes. I think these guys would have cooked on a whole nother level, but I thought the match was good. I thought that, I was really surprised that Finn didn't get dominated. And I'm just kidding. It was a really good match, though. But Sawyer, what did you think about this match?
No, I really liked it, and I just feel like if they had more time, it definitely, because I feel like even people were very invested in it, and I heard positive responses to it just from what they kind of were able to do. So if they really, really got that time, again, listen, I'm one of the people, I'm very stressed out because I always think about how it was robbed from me during the panty. Panty stole this from me. Very upsetting.
I'm sorry, what? Who stole from you?
The panty.
Well,
That's
you should call
panties.
We call her the panty. That's her name.
Who's panties?
Miss 2020, the panty. She stole this match from me, and we definitely would have got a way better one at a takeover, but that did not happen.
I agree to that, though, actually, though. But go ahead.
Like, you already know. So I definitely would like them to revisit that at some point. Yeah, so I enjoyed it. So that's the only thing I'm answering right now, right? The Finn. Okay, I just want to make sure.
No, you did a fantastic job. Good job, madam. We're gonna give it to Rich King. So I can see he's right by the mic. He's ready to say something. Go ahead. I believe Fat Joe would be proud of you because Fat Joe said, "Give me the fucking mic." So good job.
In that order, but I would say that honestly the match was actually pretty dope, right? It was like a time limited match. It was a really dope match, but I do think the reason why they held back is because it was almost a tease. This could be something that might come down the road, maybe at a Royal Rumble or something else, where we get the best of the best, or maybe the Demon version of Finn Balor makes his return, right? So I do think that I'm a big Finn Balor fan. I love me some Finn Balor, and I think that he's been underutilized and underappreciated over the past 2 years with this awful Judgment Day group, right? But I do think that he is
awful.
He is he's like Kirby right now. He is slowly cooking that pot, and when he's ready, it's going to explode.
That was a Super Smash Brothers reference. So for people, because when I heard that, I was very proud. Good job, Rich Kings. I am proud of you. Jean Baptiste, what did you think? Oh, I'm sorry, you don't call him Finn Balor. What do you think about Mr. Finn Balor and his match against Mr. Gunther?
That was a pay-per-view level quality match. Literally. No, because most of the time Gunther's steamrolling his opponents. With Finn, that was definitely like more time. It would have been an instant classic, hands down. I actually enjoyed that match exactly for what it was. It was solid back and forth. Although Finn's chest, or like right by his neck, like ow, like every time Gunther lays a chop, I have a heart attack because it's like, yo, I can't get hit like that. Shout out to my man Crazy Joe, but I think Gunther's chops are way worse.
Oh, yeah. Joe's a good number 2 though, but I get you.
Yeah, because Joe don't cock back, but Jesus, I can only imagine what would happen if he cocked his hand back to chop you. The whelps, my God, is that blood? Did skin break? My man, Jesus. But definitely a solid match. Solid finish too. Like Finn didn't go out like no punk. He definitely you got put in a sleeper hole twice. If you didn't submit to that, I would have actually as a demon pain. But solid matchup. I definitely a solid 8 out of 10 with that one. I wish it did have more time. I definitely if this becomes a future matchup, I'd definitely be invested.
Yeah. No, and I agree with you guys. I think just a little bit more time. I think if you put this on a PLE, they're gonna cook. And I agree with Shay because so 4 years ago they were supposed to do this at NXT. It was a takeover. I think it was gonna be a UK pay-per-view, a PLE, whichever word you want to use. And we didn't get it because the world said I'm sick, and we didn't get it, unfortunately. And I think they would have cooked. I mean, I don't think that they did bad here. It was just a little bit. I wanted a little bit more, and that's not to take away from what these guys did. I thought that they had some magic there, and it makes me like how you guys were mentioning how they held back a little bit. It makes me want more. But let's talk about this match. Gunther, he like mentioned, he beat Finn Balor. Finn Balor never tapped out. He choked. He got choked out, which it's fine. I mean, the government has choked me out. What we're gonna get here. So we have Gunther going against Damian Priest. This feud is actually kind of hilarious to me, and what makes me laugh is Gunther comes off like a jerk. He says that first off, he said, "Oh, you being homeless, you chose." No one chooses to be homeless, Gunther. And then he sits there and calls this man a street rat. So apparently he'd been watching Aladdin. So Gunther is just an angry white man. With all that said, I'm going to give the floor first to Rich Kings here. So here's my question. This is my question to you guys in the chat as well. Who do you got going over? And if it is in fact Gunther, I do want to ask you guys, how would you rate Damian Priest's championship run? So I'm gonna give you the floor first, Rich King. Okay. Someone's been picking up sign language. Okay. Oh, you've been watching that Daredevil stuff, haven't you, Sawyer? But but Rich Kings, I'm gonna give you the floor first. Jean Baptiste, and then please, Shay, take the floor. And also, you guys in the chat, it's a conversation. How would you rate Damian Priest? I apologize. Title reign. So go ahead, Rich Kings, please.
So I see the George's comment, and I don't think it's going to end in a DQ. I do think Gunther's going to win the match. We have a saying here at my job. We call people that we don't like river rats. So when I heard a street rat, I'm like, huh. So it kind of fits Damian Priest. I think he is a river rat, and I do think that he should lose the match. I do think that his title run was mid. I'll give it a 5.5 because of all the distractions and interferences, and just this title run has been exhausting. I know you guys were complaining about Sami Zayn's title run, but this one was more mentally and physically exhausting watching Damian Priest with this damn belt. So I don't think that it was unsuccessful as a run. I just think it was just meh. So I think it's time for the belt to move to a different person. I think Gunther, I don't know who's going to beat Gunther coming up next, to be honest with you. I don't have an answer for that, but I'm actually excited to see what happens with Gunther as the champion. I think Damian Priest does need to lose this match. Maybe he needs to take some time off and come back and maybe do like some kind of like role reversal, in my opinion. But I don't see the whole Judgment Day thing going on after this anyway. So Gunther wins.
Jean Baptiste, please take the floor, sir.
I disagree. Damian Priest, since winning the title, has definitely his mic work has improved. Matches have gotten a lot better. I wasn't even invested in this Gunther versus Damian Priest match. I thought it was going to be a flop, but he managed to change my mind. The whole interaction between both of them. Gunther, I don't hear Gunther talk like that much or often as is, but him saying street rat or street trash and continuing to berate Damian Priest has been hilarious. Their brawls have been fun to watch, but I will say this. I agree with Rich Kings because this title run has been mid, but I feel like it's only been mid because they just keep shoehorning interference, whether it be Judgment Day, CM Punk, or whoever. Like for this run, I feel like at this point, especially with the way the feud is, Gunther wins the belt at some point. Just let it be the next pay-per-view. Let Damian Priest win without no help, and then they can run that back. Because in all honesty, with the way this feud,
okay, why help?
What you mean? Why help? Why help? What?
I don't understand. So you're saying that this was successful in your eyes? How was this successful? What match has he done? I think Damian Priest is not like a bad wrestler, but he has not had his best wrestling match in this title reign. I think
because it's been nothing but outside interference. Yo, the way they've been booking his matches.
Because he can't win by himself. Sorry, he can't win by himself. I think Damian Priest's best match in general has been the match against Bad Bunny, because that was just so much happening there in that match. I think he was able to perform at his greatest then. This right here, this title reign, I didn't see anything close to that. I didn't see any kind of I didn't see any moments where I was like, damn, this is great. So for you to sit here and say this was...
It's been nothing but outside interference. Are you fucking kidding me? Damian Priest versus Jey Uso. Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. Fucking CM Punk.
But he needs it.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think
You're advocating.
Hold up. I'm sorry. I know everyone's young, but everyone say hi to Crazy Joe. He's lovely.
What's going on, Joe?
So
He is
you're
fantastic.
advocating for Damian Priest to win this match.
You want to do that?
I'm sorry. To beat him the next pay-per-view?
Yeah, let him run it back. They can run that back.
Clean? You
They can definitely run it back.
Clean.
Huh?
CLEAN.
Hold up.
You have a spell for a second. That's all bad.
Do I feel like it's probably going to be clean? No, we're definitely going to see Judgment Day interference. We're probably going to see interference from God knows where. Too much interference. Is that interference probably going to cost Gunther? Yes. Do I want to see outside interference?
Wrestling God.
Nah.
You think it costs the wrestling God?
I did want to you guys are lavish. This is literally what we be going through a lot of times when we have wrestling conversations. But please, I'm going to give it the floor to Madam Shay. Please, what do you think here? I
still stand with Damian Priest.
That's fine. That's fine. That's all right. I know Rich King's. Rich King. You don't like that, do you? Well, I don't like what you said about Canada, so I enjoy all of this. So please,
Boo! That's what I have to say. I'm gonna start there. First and foremost. Okay, yes, outside interference because they need it. Let's go. Okay, let's go start from the first reign to the very last. First, they're not going to have him go clean over Jey Uso. No, absolutely not. He's like one of their top guys because, sorry, they don't see him as that top guy. You have to make allowances for that. Second, they're not going to have him go over clean for Drew. Again, they don't see him up there, of course. Seth. They 100% are not going to let him go over him clean. So, yes, he has to have interferences. And this is why I say he shouldn't even be the champion. Because when you have all these people that you have to have all these extra things outside to make it make sense for him to beat them, for all that, just put the title on them. Sorry, this is the truth. These are the facts. And let's just get into the fact that when we started talking about this match, we spent a whole 10 minutes talking about Finn Balor because he's so much more interesting than Damian. I'm sorry. These are the facts. So, again, outside of, I don't know who could come down to assist Damian to help him, because it won't be Finn, to beat Gunther. If no one helps, he is not beating Gunther.
And he
absolutely not.
I have somebody for you. You know who could possibly show up and ruin everything for both of us? Brock Lesnar. And I want to see
that.
Wait, why would Brock Lesnar just show up? He just
They did tease Brock Lesnar and Gunther at Royal Rumble. Like, wasn't that last year or year before?
Last year, yeah.
I could see someone on that level could ruin it for us. That's the only person that can ruin it for us.
But you know what? Rich King
could happen. Damian Priest is a minority, and we all see what happens when minorities have the belt.
Jack Snake. Right now. But if we can highlight real quick with the executive consultant,
Biggie, Kofi Kingston, Bobby Lashley.
So if we can, he said Brock would not waste it, and I don't see that either. I just don't see him wasting his time and doing all this. He also said Damian hate. I think that's towards both Rich King and Sawyer. He also says, but I can see Brock Lesnar showing. Oh, I'm sorry, I came at the right time. But he also said, but I could see Brock showing up at SummerSlam. I can't. I don't. I just don't see him showing up. If he showed up, I would be a dope surprise. I would be surprised, but I don't see that being a thing. And we have George who says, if Brock shows up, I'm done.
Did the lawyers clear him to show up? Is he cleared to return?
Huh?
Did the lawyers clear him to? That's basically what's stopping him, because I think that's the one thing that's stopping him. Like,
listen,
they want to ease him.
This came up with Triple H on, I think it was somebody's show, and he said when Brock wants to show up, you will know, essentially. So I don't think anything's stopping him. So
I wish my job was like that. I'll just show up when I just want to, but I don't see Brock showing up here. And I just want to give my thoughts here real quick. I see Gunther going over. Gunther should beat Damian Priest. I think that I know that you're on your own here, Jean Baptiste, because you said you stand with Damian Priest, and shout out to you for that. I mean, you're standing 12 toes, which you should probably get checked out. But I got Damian going over. I mean, oh my God, you poisoned my mind. I got Gunther going over. Gunther should beat Damian Priest, and I just see the story going for. I look at the story, right? I think this match is going to be really good here. I think there's going to be some top quality match here. Gunther, Damian Priest. I think these guys are going to deliver. But I'm looking at the story, and I just see Damian losing, and something. And I feel like I said this earlier in this show. Or maybe I was saying it to Jean Baptiste. I don't know. I might have just said it by myself. I don't know. But I just feel like after SummerSlam, we're getting a new version of the Judgment Day. And with one of them being Damian Priest is getting kicked out. Same with Rhea. Damian Priest was the one when Rhea, when she hurt herself, because I don't blame Liv. I do want to throw this out real quick here. Rhea sitting here on Monday. Let me yell at you. Because I don't want to take LA Knight's thing. He said, let me talk to you. Let me yell at you. Rhea sat there and she said,
yeah.
Oh, thank you. She sat there and said, like, oh, you try to be a victim in your story. No, Rhea, you hurt this girl. This girl have all the reason to be upset. Now, all of a sudden, you got hurt, and now you want to play the victim. Look, I like Evanescence too. But you know what happened? I grew up and started listening to My Chemical Romance. My point is, you have to grow up at some point. Listen to some real metal music. I can't think of this band name. I gotta look at the song, and it says I gotta look it up. I don't know. My point is,
what I want to add on to that as well. That is why I say Rhea and Damian almost forgot his freaking.
He's not even a real priest.
They both can go because they both are the same level of delusional. For her to think that she's somehow the victim in this when she literally started it. Liv just got her lick back, and Damian all of a sudden wants to be the good guy. We know all the stuff you've done. We have watched it in 4K. Do not try to act like you're the good guy here. No. And I still remember you put your hands on Finn. That was not nice. So, yeah, like, they're delusional. I'm sorry.
And just real quick to go back to a comment that Chris made, right? I'm not saying Brock Lesnar come back to help Damian Priest. I'm saying maybe that might sort of feud with him and Gunther. It's not to aid him. It's just to fucking piss Gunther off. That's it.
I think you're saying we're greater than AEW Dynamite. I just saw Darby Allin pin somebody.
Did you really?
Who?
No, Darby. I'm literally watching it right. I'm doing two things at once here. I'm sorry.
Who the heck is Darby Allin?
A fake Sting.
Oh,
oh my
yay.
God. Oh my Lord.
So Sting retires and we get Sting 2.0. Great.
Let's get into the main event. I feel like we talked.
Be Vampiro.
I feel like we talked everything about these matches. Let's get into match 7 here. I didn't even think the show would go that long, but I mean, hey, look, it's a conversation. We hope that you guys are enjoying it. Exactly. Darby Allin pinned someone. If Brock Lesnar shows up, and yes, Brock Lesnar takes the title off Gunther. No, I would never do that. I think even if I'll say this, if Gunther and Brock Lesnar had that match at Mania this year for the Intercontinental Championship, Gunther was beating Brock Lesnar. I'm sorry, I'm going with that. Well, Rhea did offer Liv a spot at Judgment Day, so now Liv takes it. Yeah, and as she should take Rhea's place. Rhea got hurt. I don't. I'm just saying Liv should totally take the spot. So let's get into this main event. I feel like I already know the answer here, but let's for entertainment purposes. We have Cody Rhodes going against Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa pinned I Have a Dream Cody Rhodes last month at Money in the Bank. Gunther was going to beat Brock Lesnar. I'm sorry, George. George, I'm taking away at least 10 points from you because you don't know, but I do. But let's talk about this match. I'm just gonna show of hands here. Does anybody see Solo Sikoa winning this?
I don't see Dancing with the Star winning at all. Like, what? Why? Like, he dresses like he's supposed to appear on an episode of Dancing with the Stars. Like, that red shirt. Solo Sikoa. Get his ass out of here. You ain't taking shit. Get your ass out of here, man.
Well, he should probably take a shit because you're supposed to do that. But anyway, I just want to ask that question here just to be sure if everyone was on the same page here. I do not see Solo Sequoia or Solo Sequoia winning. Why did he put it twice?
Let me ask you this: who here is actually watching this match for Solo Sequoia? We all know why we're watching this match, but it ain't for no goddamn Solo Sequoia.
So that was going to be my next question. So do we see Roman Reigns return here at SummerSlam?
Yep.
What about you, Rich Kings? I know you're cooking something in there, and hopefully it's egg whites. Are you cooking egg whites?
Yeah, that's a good choice. Yeah, we'll go with egg whites. So
Thank you.
Listen, I do believe like SummerSlam is one of the things where stars return, right? Or stars make an appearance. So I do think Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar, that's why I threw that out there, would return. But I think this sets up for something, right? So I do think that he probably does return at the end of the match. Like, you have disappointed us once again by your consistent losing and running your mouth. And I think that, it's a sign to see what happens next. I don't think he interferes in the match and costs Solo Sequoia, but I do think he probably appears after the match as like a little, I'm next.
Like a stare down.
Yeah.
Who's a crybaby? Who are you talking to? He's so rude.
The camera woman from earlier, she said she was a Cody crybaby.
The camera woman?
That's her name, Bob. Yeah, you worked with her when we did the NXT.
I'm sorry. I thought he was talking about a real camera woman on TV. I'm confused. I was all right. Never mind.
No. That's my partner for the NXT show. She's the one who came up with the Jane Train catchphrase, which is a fantastic. We're gonna get shirts there. I'm gonna give everyone a shirt there. You guys are gonna wear it, right? I hate you. You said yes? Okay. Rich Kings. That's what I'm talking about. Jean Baptiste, expect a pink slip underneath your pillow tonight. No, that's not nice. So, do you see one Roman Reigns, our tribal chief, coming back here on Saturday?
I don't really like to put a timetable on him. I think, when it's right, it's right. He'll return. I mean, it is probably the second biggest PLE. So, if this was a time, this would be the time to do so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a strong possibility. It's a strong possibility. I'm not going to say yes or no, but I'm going to say 70% yes and 30% no. Yes, 30%.
I feel like the other percentage was shit. But yeah, and I get what you're saying there, because it's like, well, does he show up, and to throw it out there? But I'm gonna go with, I do believe that he shows up. I do believe what Rich King said. I do believe that he comes after the match and he has a stare down with Solo has been for the last few months. He is so.
We all did, buddy. We all did.
See, this is what I'm telling you. He's going to get 2 pink slips. I'm not going to lie, Jean Baptiste. You expect to find, and not because you're so fine, because that haircut looks so fabulous on you, you badass. But
what? I look like a fucking shag rug. Don't lie to me. Come on, man. What the hell? I look like a fucking old ass bearskin rug that's been pissed on by 2 dogs. Man, get out of here. Stop lying.
Wait, why 2 dogs? I don't know what's going on there. I'm gonna that's disgusting. You will never come on this show ever again like this, ever again. That is disgusting. You are just. But I agree. If you find Gene, Shay can pay 70%. Chris is an asshole. I don't know where to put it. He's just so rude. Of course he would be rude. He got George says Cody retains and Roman music hit, and the crowd is ape shit with Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso. I don't see Jimmy Uso coming back right away. I don't even know. Like, is he legitimately hurt? Like,
no, he got cleared. He got cleared 3 weeks ago.
Okay, but I do see
3 weeks ago he was medically cleared.
Okay, I do see though Paul Heyman. If Roman comes out, I could see Paul. And even then, I'm not even so strong about that, because I feel like I can see it, but I could also see Paul coming back like a few weeks later, if that makes sense. Chris says everybody wants Jimmy. I love Jimmy. He's hilarious.
I gotta agree with what George said earlier. Jimmy might show up on SmackDown to screw. I think it's
Oh, the
Tanga
tag
Loa
team, right?
for the tag team championships. And as far as the title match at SummerSlam, Jimmy's probably going to intervene, or there's probably going to be chaos on the outside. And when Roman's music hits, that little distraction is probably what's going to cause Solo, or even Paul Heyman just showing up is enough of a distraction to cause Solo the title match. Like Solo's going to lose, but it's going to be some type of not even interference, probably just a distraction in itself, or maybe just Paul Heyman and Jimmy show up outside, and once Solo loses, then Roman Reigns shows up, and that probably ends the show.
Or maybe Rikishi just shows up and he just runs over Stone Cold. I don't know. Like I
didn't put it wrong.
Runs over Stone Cold again. But that's our predictions here for the Big Pop Theory podcast. I would like to say that we would have a show this Saturday, but I will be on travels, so we're gonna take a little sabbatical here. But we're going to Jay's funnier though. I feel like Jimmy is funnier though, personally. Jay is funny. I mean, what do you guys think? But I feel like Jimmy's more funnier than Jay.
Jimmy's funnier. I find Jimmy funnier, but I'm also a total divas person, so I'm a little biased to Jimmy also.
That's fair. What about you, Rich Kings? What do you got here? What is that?
I don't find either of them funny. I don't know. I don't get it.
Do you laugh at my jokes?
Of course.
I love you. You're great. That's why he's invited to the pizza taco extravaganza. Jean-Baptiste, you can only watch from the window because you're a window shopper. And that's what 25 Cent said. Or whatever that rapper's name is. I'm not going to get on his bad side because I've seen his work. What about you, Jean-Baptiste? What do you think here?
What was the question?
Oh, who's funnier, Jimmy or Jay?
Probably Jimmy. Jimmy always had more personality. He always had more personality. He's a clown, complete clown, and I do enjoy laughing at him. So yes, I do find him funny.
Roman Reigns is a true tribal chief, absolutely.
I agree.
But we're not gonna have a after show day, and we're gonna take a break with the audio. But we're not gonna be back this Sunday, but the following Sunday. So it's gonna be a lot of great. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, if you listen to the audio, because before the show started, we were already talking about Deadpool. By then, the spoiler thing is loose. So if you don't want to hear it, too damn bad, because we're going to talk about it. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you about some. No, I'm not going to do that here because it's still fresh. We won't do that here. We're not. What do you think I am, a bad guy? Anyway, that is the show. I want to say thank you to the guys in the chat. I'm looking at you, Chris Harris. Thank you. I know we're going to chat. Wrestling Doll, I'm going to see you next Tuesday. I wish I was on yesterday because JC Jane won, but I'm going to be back on for Great American Bash night 2. It looked like it's going to be great. I look forward to that MSK match against Axiom and Nathan Fraser. That match is going to be ridiculous, so I'm not taking notes for that because it's going to be quick. With all that said, I give the floor. I'm going to give you the floor first, Shay Soy, but I'm going to give the floor to Rich King. So I feel like I'm lying here. I apologize about lying, but I don't use my lying card often. Rich Kings, a lot of times he says, you can't find me nowhere. But I'm going to tell you where you can find him, right here on the Big Pop Theory podcast. He's right here, the smartest guy in the room, although he does not like Canada. He is a great guy. He's fantastic. And sir, may I say, you have the best glasses in the world. They talk about Velma Kinky. I don't know what her last name is, but you have the best. If there was a top 5, you are not 2.
Appreciate it.
I should be. Thank you. Sawyer, where can these people find you?
You can find me at ShaySawyer_ on Twitter. You can find me at ShaySawyer_ on Instagram as well. You can also catch me on Tuesday for the Meta 2 after show with In Cat We Trust on bodyslam.net directly after NXT, where there's yelling and smoke alarm. I can't get a hold of it. It's something. It's like in the wall. Listen, trust me. Yeah, and yeah. Also on Twitch, if you're watching right now. Shay Sawyer. It's just Shay Sawyer. No underscore nothing.
There you go, because you have it right there on Twitch. Good job, Jean Baptiste, MSK. I look forward to talking about that match with you. Also, good job to her because she put over JC Jane. I can't express that enough. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am a big fan. Jean Baptiste, where can they find you?
Desert Storm 459 at every single social media platform: Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. That handle is everywhere. Damn. And you can also catch me here on the Big Pop Theory podcast for every pre-show, sometimes after show.
Absolutely. That's where you can find me. I'm sorry, what did you want to say?
Do you ever get like Desert Storm? We see that 20 years from now, it's still gonna be Desert Storm.
That's not done. You know what? I'll tell you what's crazy.
Desert Storm, AOL, Desert Storm, currently Desert Storm. What are we doing?
You know what's crazy? I've had this name literally since I was 12.
Yeah.
Shit, for damn 25 years I've had this goddamn name.
Time to retire.
Yes. I wouldn't know what direction to go in. I kind of made that's even my gamer tag on PSN, Xbox Live, and Steam. So like, it's kind of been my identity for years. How do you get rid of that? Like, where do I go from there?
We can help you.
You go south.
You can do it. Seriously.
Yeah, you can totally.
You know, my name on Xbox for years was Enigma Reigns because I had an obsession with Roman Reigns for a month, but then I got over it, obviously. But then I couldn't change it. But then I changed it. So now it's Shay Sawyer. See, you can always change it.
Absolutely. You never let the chains, like someone put a chain around my ankle. You know what I said? No. So that's what you should do. And also, Jadakiss would never allow such behavior. Make Jadakiss proud. I'm going to sing a Jadakiss song, just not tonight. But I will sit here and say, we want to thank you guys for watching us. I'm going to sing a song. I'm going to sing Madonna's. What was that song from Deadpool? Something, something mystery. I don't know.
Does Madonna pay taxes?
Quite you. So anyway. Anyway, I want to thank my lovely panel. It's already an hour and some change. We talked about SummerSlam. We hope that you enjoy SummerSlam like a prayer. Yes, Stink. Yes, I love this guy. I don't know if that's really you in the picture, but if it is you, fantastic. That's him? Great. I want to see his ID now. I just want to see it. Anyway, we want to thank you guys. We hope that you had a good time. We hope that you watch SummerSlam and you enjoy it. We hope that you continue to follow Big Pop Theory Podcast. It's an audio podcast. We're on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and there's a bunch of other things too. I don't think it's Google Podcasts anymore. Forgive me. And also every now and then we're on YouTube. Like my guy said here, we do predictions and we also do after show. So we hope that you continue to follow us. We hope that you enjoy and continue to follow all these lovely people on their platforms. And with that all said, I have to pack because I have a trip in fucking 6 hours. So anyway, guys, I will see you guys. We'll all see you guys. Take care, be well, be safe, and drink water. So everyone, wave, bye.